Some folks are in such a hurry to become dual citizens and to get that second passport that even the idea of waiting 6 months for a citizenship by investment seems just a little bit too long to them. And so today we're going to talk about the often mythological instant citizenship countries and my recommendations for getting citizenship quickly. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson. Here at Nomad Capitalist, we've built a team of over 30 people, spent over a dozen years curating a global network of experts, all to help 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs legally go where you're treated best. More at nomadcapitalist.com. So let's talk about this idea of instant citizenship countries. One of the challenges that I have about the offshore industry, and in this case the citizenship industry, is that you have a lot of misleading statements out there where people will make it sound like getting a residence permit or a golden visa is citizenship. It may lead to citizenship, but the citizenship is not guaranteed. It takes a while. There may be conditions that you need to meet, such as learning a language first. Or they'll suggest that by purchasing citizenship through the CBI program in St. Kitts and Nevis, for example, that you're becoming a citizen of multiple countries. That's not true. You're becoming a member of a CARICOM country or an EU country in the case of Malta, where you have access to other countries, but you're not a citizen of all those countries. And there's a lot of sleight of hand where people sometimes even think that when they go to apply for their residence permit or apply for their citizenship by investment, that they will be granted instant citizenship when they land. And so the reality is there are not many opportunities for instant citizenship. In theory, if you move to another country and you're a world-class Olympian or a world-class artist, or you develop a cure for cancer, the president or the prime minister or the parliament could grant you citizenship pretty instantly. I imagine if you went to the right country and developed said cure or whatever it may be, that they might do that for you. But even then, it's going to go through a certain bureaucratic process. So for me, I look at two ways where citizenship is instant. Snap your fingers. Number one is you're born on the soil. So since all of us watching this are ostensibly already born, this is an opportunity for any children that we may have, but not an opportunity for us. We've already been born. Now, maybe there's somebody out there who was born somewhere, or they've got a parent from somewhere, and they're able to claim citizenship. Again, it's not really instant, but okay, it's the process of just going and getting your passport. I had a member of our team recently who got together at a family gathering and found out that actually their mother was a Croatian citizen. They didn't even know it. Their mother didn't even think that she was still a Croatian citizen. And now this team member of ours, we're helping her go to the embassy and apply for her passport. And so basically she already is a Croatian citizen. She just didn't know it. And like anyone else, she just has to go and apply for a passport. I would call that pretty instant. So other than birth, physical birth on a territory or birth to a parent, the really only other way to instantly get citizenship is in a relatively small number of countries where they grant it by marriage. So Armenia used to do this. You could get married and immediately apply for citizenship. Again, it wasn't like you get married, congratulations, here's your passport, but you could apply instantly. Okay? In countries like Cape Verde, for example, the same thing. Iran, for example, if you are a woman, you marry a man, I believe the citizenship is pretty instant. I know someone who did that. One of our viewers pointed out Mali in Africa offers instant citizenship if you marry a Malian citizen. Probably most of these aren't citizenships that would help you a lot or that you would even want. I wouldn't take an Iranian citizenship if it was offered to me. I love the Iranian people. I'm fascinated by the country, but it's a passport that has some problems, right? So we're not talking about, top tier passports here, with all due respect. And so, my first suggestion to getting citizenship quickly is plan ahead, right? I am often hearing from folks where their wealth is growing too fast, especially people in cryptocurrency, where they've left it to the last minute and now they need a second passport to accomplish some certain goal. And they cut things so close that sometimes they don't achieve the goal in the desired timeline because you just can't get citizenship in a week, right? Anyone who tells you that, it's a scam. Now, you don't want to give a guy money in an envelope and have him hand you a passport because you may not even be a citizen of that country. It may not even be legal, right? The goal is not a passport. The goal is a citizenship certificate that allows you to go and get a passport. And so the fastest way for most people, if you're not going to marry a Malian or a Cape Verdean, or if you're not going to claim a long-lost citizenship from your parents or be reborn, is likely through citizenship by investment. So If you have citizenship by descent through a grandparent or through a great-grandparent, there's still going to be a process of applying for that. You need to provide documents, you need to produce records. Some cases, like the English-speaking countries, they can be pretty quick. We did one in Belize once, it wasn't that bad. UK is relatively straightforward. In some cases, we're doing one right now, it's a little bit freaky. But that's still going to take time. The others are potentially years away. I mean, Italy, forget it, you're waiting years. Spain, others. So that's not exactly instant. Just because you qualify doesn't mean you have the benefits of it. We talked about the exceptional programs where you get something by doing some crazy investment or curing cancer. I mean, that's going to take a while bureaucratically. Naturalization, of course, takes time. Golden visas, residence by investment. Just because you're a resident doesn't mean you can be a citizen right away. And so for most people, the fastest thing is doing citizenship by investment. Now, there are many options. You may not need the fastest passport. Right? You may afford to wait a year or 2 years or 3 years, especially if your second citizenship is a plan B. I'm not suggesting that you go to the Caribbean in one of their 5 citizenship by investment programs and you spend $100,000 or $130,000 or $150,000 plus fees if you don't need a passport for a couple of years. So one question I would always ask is, how long are you willing to wait? Now, some people can afford to simply be impatient. I can afford to pay. Why wait? Right? But just because you can pay doesn't mean that you should. So you always want to look at all the options, which is why I say, don't call someone who only sells citizenship and residence by investment, because that's all they're going to offer you. They're going to ignore the fact that your mother was from Indonesia, as we found out with someone recently, and they're not going to tell you, just do that and, whatever, just wait a little while and you'll be fine. You'll accomplish your goals. But if speed is the goal and you're not doing the things that we mentioned, then what you want to do is a citizenship by investment program in the Caribbean with one of the fastest processing times, and that changes from time to time, every month or every quarter. Some of them seem a little faster than the others. St. Kitts and Nevis has a 60-day rush option. It's going to cost you $75,000 more than the cheapest option if you're a single applicant. May or may not be worth it. I was doing a calculation with one gentleman recently because he wanted to expatriate. And it's like, was the $75,000 to potentially save an extra month and a half, was that worth it? But the other thing that's most important about these CBIs is how quickly can you fill out the paperwork? And so that's something where I think most people are letting their clients go around and spend 6 months to a year filling out paperwork when it could be done potentially in a month, right? And they'll quote, what's the timeline to get citizenship by investment? It could be 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, depending on the program and whether you pay more. But then if it takes you 7 months to collect all the documents and fill out the forms, that's going to be an issue. So you need to find a way to speed that up. And so for the average person, that's going to be the fastest way and the closest thing to an instant citizenship. Okay, because as long as you are not a criminal, you haven't been sued 11,000 times. You don't have a deadly disease, your business, makes sense. You're not in some, nefarious business. You're probably going to be approved for the program. And so that is likely going to be more instantaneous than most other options for the average person. And so instant citizenship, I think it is sold as something that people like the idea of instantly. You snap your fingers. In reality, citizenship doesn't work that way unless you're lucky enough to just be born and to take advantage of that through your birthplace or through your parents. For everyone else, you're going to have to put in a little bit of work, but certainly more investment, more money can get it for you faster with less work. How can Nomad Capitalist help you? 4 ways. Number 1, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to make sure you get our new video every day. Number 2, get a copy of Nomad Capitalist, the book. You'll learn a lot of my personal experiences over a dozen years of studying this stuff, as well as exactly some of the strategies that you can use to build your Nomad Capitalist plan. Number 3, if you're not sure where to start, but you want to come and learn from my team and I, you want to come and mingle with like-minded people, learn more about our live conference, Nomad Capitalist Live. It's coming up soon. And number 4, if you want some help right now because you've got a burning issue, you need something solved, you want to lower your taxes, get a second passport, or build the Nomad Capitalist lifestyle of your dreams, go to nomadcapitalist.com and click on Become a Client.